Alright guys, what's going on? So, we're doing a little maintenance on my bump boxes. This is the Racer's Edge. It's a badass box. I need to clean it up. It's the Often and knockoff. I'm probably going to be getting a new box here pretty soon. Um, Not sure exactly which one. I looked at the Dynamite one, but it's not a dual 775. It's a single 775. They've actually got one at my hobby shop, unless it's a different Dynamite one. Um, and then looking at the ProTech one as well. So, but I tell you, man, this Sure Start box has been a good box. Uh, it's by Racer's Edge. And it's the Often and knockoff box. So what we're doing is a little maintenance. My belt is starting to fray, and I tightened it up, but it's too tight, so I don't want to run it like that. So I ordered the Racer's Edge belt. It's an 82 tooth belt, and a new wheel for it. I've gotten a lot better at bump starting my shit. In the beginning, it was really crazy. I actually wore out a wheel like right away because I just was not used to it. I'd never done it before. I know Muggy gave me a hard time about that shit, but you know, man, when you've never done anything before like that and you're learning, it may take you a little bit. So I'm sorry if I can't talk right. My mouth is still jacked up from the dentist. So please excuse me. The other thing that we're doing is my switch went bad here on the Duratrax starter box. So they didn't have any mini switches, so I just went ahead and got a regular toggle switch on it. I have to be careful not to break it off. It's $4, and I had to widen the connections on it right here. So this belt is still good on this one. This is why the Duratrax box is not too expensive. I think I paid $50 for it. They're dual 550s, and you know, like the belt is not really that great. It's just not as quality as the Racer's Edge box. The belt is like a real belt. This belt is, I don't know what the hell this belt's made of. It feels like plastic, but I know it's not. But it's just a lot cheaper. But it served its purpose. This box has been pretty specific to the Hyper 7. Lights out. Here's your shocks. I'm going to get it addressed up and get them sent out to you hopefully over the next couple of days. So keep an eye out on that, brother. I'm not sure if I can get it done tomorrow, but I'm going to try. I got your address, and I'll get them off too. They're probably going to be a little oily, but I've got them in a bag, so no worries. So guys, as y'all can see, I got the Hyper 7 all cleaned up from the airtime that it saw yesterday. Nothing broke on it except this one A-arm. It stripped out. Already replaced it. And to be honest with you, the front drive shaft bent a little bit. I think it's when I went through the ramp itself, through the plywood. I think just the torque of it hitting it bent it. But I actually bent it back. I'm not going to buy another one right now. I am going to upgrade these to the CVDs. They're about $30 for the front and the rear, or you can buy the whole regular dog bone set, and it has all of them for $30. But I'm gonna upgrade to the CVDs on it. Now I did put new brake disc pads on there, so the other ones were getting kind of wore out. So since I had everything apart and open, I went ahead and did that. And I bent that drive shaft pretty well. It's still bent a little bit, but nothing like it was. It was bent so much that it knocked off the front chassis brace. That's something else that I'm going to be ordering here at some point. They have front and rear aluminum chassis braces for this. They're $20 each, so $40, man. So we'll get that done in the next couple of weeks as well. But as you guys can see, don't judge me. This is the .28 dynamite that came in the 8T, the one that we did the other day on the tutorial for putting a back plate on a dynamite .28. So she's just about you know, box broken in. So we've done our heat cycles, we've done our idle tanks and some RPM tanks. So now I want to put it on the ground and start breaking it in on the ground. Now guys, this engine right here is not something that means anything to me. So once we get it a little bit broke in, we're going to rip this engine and we're going to try and kill it. We're going to see how long this dynamite .28 can last. It's not that big of a deal for me. They're 115 bucks all day long on the internet, and I'll probably never buy another one unless I get another RTR that has one in it. So and as you can see, I've got my Losi 454 and I've got my Big Red. My other Big Red went with my the newest Big Red. It was brand new, pretty much. It had just been broken in, probably about a gallon or less. Went with the LST that I sold yesterday. Anyway guys, we got it all back together. I'm thinking about either buying some more Savox Black Editions for the Mugen, since that's going to be my practice race buggy, or just go ahead and put these in the Mugen. Either way, I mean, I may be using the Hyper 7 as well on the track. I actually like the Hyper 7. I mean, I can't say I like it better than the Mugen because I've only driven the Mugen a couple of times, but I'm sure I'll feel the same way. In all actuality, guys, I feel like the Hyper 7 is more durable than the Mugen just by looking at it and feeling it. And you know, I know the pillow balls and things like that, but I don't know, maybe running it and driving it with the P5 in there will change my mind. I see Muggy out there ripping the hell out of his, and we'll see, maybe it'll change my mind. But the Hyper is a durable badass right here. Plus I got a bigger tank, you know, longer run times. But anyway guys, that was the only thing that broke on here. Bent the front drive shaft, pulled the A-arm out right here, and what was the other thing? Oh, the sway bar here pulled out. No big deal. All that bashing, that high flying, man, nothing really happened to this thing. She is a badass platform, and I recommend this platform to anybody, newbie, oldie but goodie, anybody. Hyper 7 TQ Sport, badass buggy right here. Now, I do want to get some screws in the ends here with some washers so that doesn't pop out like it did the other day. But I mean, look at this thing, man. Beat this thing to hell. It's a little scratched up on the bottom from hitting that ramp, but those are just trophies, man. Everything else is good. If you look, you know that you have a good mesh there, guys. You want to make sure that your flywheel sits in the window straight. See how that's straight right there? If it's crooked, that's no good. Make sure that your mesh is good and that your flywheel is straight. You don't want your engine sitting in there crooked, guys. That can cause issues. Alright, so what else we got going on? Got my TLR 8.0 body, my J Concepts I think it's a finisher body, which we will be doing a red and yellow paint scheme, kind of an homage to Bottigel, just the colors really. It's not going to look just like it, but that's what it's going to remind me of personally once I get it done. I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to do my paint scheme. I know the truck is going to be yellow, and then with your red accents, and I think he had some blue in there too. I'm gonna have to go back and look at some pictures of it, but I want to get kind of close to it, just so when you look at it and you know who Bottigel is, you'll say, man, that looks kind of like Bottigel's. But Anyway, man, I just think that the 4.0 is badass. His 4.0 is badass. And I always wanted one, and I didn't get a chance to get one yet. I will get one, even if it's used. My hobby shop owner's wanting me to buy his Low CX. He said it's okay, but I think he's wanting to move on to something else. And he'll probably give me a really, really cheap deal on it. And it'll be good. I can use it along with the Mugen for practice and stuff like that. So, anyway, we're going to be doing up this body for the 8T. I was getting tired of the stock 8T body. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but it's so generic. Everybody sees it. I want to make it my own, like I did the Techno bodies. Make it my own. It's basically the same body as this, just to fit the 8T. Alright guys, so what else did we get? Now this is a Savox servo that I got from A-Main. It says that this servo is high voltage on the site, but it doesn't say it anywhere on this package, so I'm really not sure. But it's a SV0220. It was cheap, $30 servo, but it did say it was high voltage capable. So that's the only reason that I bought it. It's going to go in the 8T, and if it lasts and it does well, then I'll buy another one and put it in the 8T for the steering. But we're definitely going to be going with Savox Blacks and the Mugen. And yeah, I'll probably just buy new ones for the Mugen and leave these in the Hyper 7. The Hyper 7 deserves these servos 100%. But guys, I'm probably going to stick with Savox for now. I know I talked about going to the ProTech like the Muggy, the T100s. But if I go the ProTech like the Muggy, I'm going to go the T300s. I'm going to go a little bit higher, step higher. Alright, so AKAs, they're handlebars. They're just for practice. That's why I got them. No big deal. Once we start running, I'll probably go to a J Concepts or a Proline tire. They said the whole shots were pretty good over there, and the ones that Raja had recommended to me, the J Concepts Reflex, I think it was. So I'm going to use these just for practice. They're brand new. I got the whole set on eBay for 30 bucks, mounted and everything. Get out of there. But as you can see, they're brand new. They did a pretty crappy job gluing them. And they're on, looks like James. I've seen that James company before. James rims. One set of them are on James rims, and the other set are on AKA rims. So, I think he said this set on the AKA rims had been used just slightly, but they're still good. So, and these are brand new, brand spanking new. 30 bucks for some practice tires. I'll take it all day long. Alright guys, so what else is going on? Other than that, I'm still waiting. My new modded engine, 0.28, should be here by Friday. And my new, I got a new wheel and a new belt coming for the Racer's Edge box. So let's take this apart real quick, this wheel, and check it out. Emmy, stand up. Alright guys, so I've already got it apart. The switch is going to be good, no problems. And I've got another wheel right here for the Duratrax box, so we're going to go ahead and do that. We're just doing an overall overhaul on both these boxes here. So Y'all can watch me do this for a second. Alright, I've already pulled the screws out, so what you want to do now is get this C-clip out of here. Woo. Just like that. I don't know if you guys can see. And then just pull that out there. Enough to get the washer off. Go. Pull it apart. This wheel, this Durtrax wheel, actually is not brand new. I had used it already, but it's newer. Get it back on there. So, like so. Line up your hose. Like so. Always push the pin down just so you can get the C-clip rest on the washer, and it makes it a lot easier to get on. We're gonna play this game today. One. Come on, girl. And there's two. Alright, once you do that, go ahead and get your screws back in. I know. I'm using a hand tool. So that's pretty much it, guys. Just get the new wheel on, and put everything back together. Now is a great time, guys, to clean your boxes out, get any you know, dissipated rubber that came off the wheel into the box, blow it out. I can't stress enough, people, if y'all do not have a compressor, get a compressor. It will save your life. Muggy Maniac, Kurt Hernandez, listen up, man. Get a compressor. Don't get the cheapest one at Harbor Freight. Get the next one up. It's about 120 bucks, and it'll do everything that you need it to do. Don't get the cheapest one because it won't provide you enough air. You'll have to do half your vehicle and then come back and do the other half after it airs back up. But you need a compressor, Muggy. Nobody uses you know, computer duster to do their shit. Get a compressor, sir. Alright, there's the wheel. So at this point, what we do, bring you all over here. And I'm probably not doing everything perfectly in the right way that everybody would do it. But if you see down in here, there's a lot of dirt, a lot of stuff going on. So I'm going to take this opportunity real quick to wipe it out. At least. And this will come out. And I'll blow all this out when I get done. I'm not going to do it right now on camera. Let's just get everything back in and get it set. So something else that I do on these guys is these connections. A lot of times they fall off. So what I do is when I get it on, then I just take some needle nose pliers and I just clamp it real hard so it stays on there. That way it won't fall off, you know. Alright, so now what I do is I get it started on these first. So I'll put you all over here. Y'all see there? So get them on the gears first. Wheel in there. This one's a little tight to get in. So sometimes what I do is I'll take the flat head and just push it down in there. So you have to determine what side you're on. You know, mine's on this side. On the left side of it. So we'll get it all lined up after we get everything back together. But let's get the screws back in. And this is adjustable, guys. You can tighten it up. You don't want to over tighten your belt though, because that's going to be more stress on everything, including your battery, whatever battery you're using. Whether it's a LiPo or 2 nickel metal hydrates. I use that 5000 milliamp reaction battery. It's a Dynamite hard case, and so far no problems. You can get them for $100 on AMain or anywhere on eBay. It's pretty good. You want it tight, but you don't want it over tight. You want the belt slipping. This P5, man, it is tight. That's what got me to doing this, because it wasn't there. I wasn't using this one. I use the dual 775s anytime I do a new quality engine like this Nova Rossi. The pinch is so tight, it's really difficult to get it started sometimes. But that dual 775 will crank it over all day, any day. So that's pretty much all there is to it, guys. So you got a new belt, you got a new wheel, you're ready to go. Then what you do is you just line it up. You just line it up where you want it. Like that. And then you got 3 screws right here, or it might be 4 screws. 3 or 4 screws. And you just flip it over. And you can get them started first, and then adjust it once you get them started. So I just get one in there. You just get one in there and get it started to hold it in. Maybe. Nobody ever said it's easy, man. If you want it easy, go to E-Word. I mean, E-Word's not that easy all the time either, guys. E-Word can be just as difficult. I mean, you don't have the tuning and stuff like that, but you still got stuff going on, man. Leave it a little bit loose so you can move it around. Get your other screws in there. Make sure it's straight. That way you're getting dead on to your flywheel. This is just how I do things, people. I'm never not trying to you know, obviously I'm trying to teach some new guys. I was very intimidated by the bump box, you know, when I first got it. I was intimidated by it, I won't lie. So there's 4 screws. And, but once I started jacking with it and figuring it out, you know, it's just started to come natural. Now I can bump an engine over instantly, easy. So, you know, if you're new and you're just starting to use a bump box, or you're intimidated to do a sealed back plate, don't be, because, you know, you're not having to do everything on camera. Just take your time and learn it and figure it out, and you will. I did. So don't let these things scare you, man. The hobby is supposed to be fun, exciting, competitive. I know that you build a lot of relationships. I've made so many new friends since I've been in the hobby and since I've been on YouTube. Not just on YouTube, but friends at the hobby shop, friends at work that we're doing. You know, we're doing like my buddy. I rebuilt this T-Max, badass T-Max, man. I got no problem with Traxxas. I mean, they are closer to a toy grade. But I've seen the E-Revo, pretty badass. They've got some pretty cool crawlers. The Fortec and stuff like that. The X01, man, that thing's 100 miles an hour. It's fast as hell. Of course, you can't use it anywhere but on a track or a flat surface. So, but anyway, guys, I'll take shit for that. And I'll take it, man. No problem. I'm not worried about that. Anyway, man, shout outs, guys. Shout out Muggy. Shout out Family Affairs. Shout out Mr. Bodegel. Shout out Lights Out. Your box is coming, bro. Shout out David, man. You're cool. I love seeing your Nova 28.8. You're about done breaking it in. She's pretty badass. Take it easy on it. Most people aren't like me to get out there and lean that shit out right away. I don't know. Maybe I've got some nerd blood in me. Because if it ain't lean, You know, I don't know. Not too lean. You gotta have smoke, man. Don't blow up your shit. You know, to each his own. Do what you want to do. But I don't want to run my stuff too rich. I don't like it gurgling and all that. Like that day, Nitro Nation, you said you wish you could be with me so you could help me tune it. I mean, I know how to tune, man. I've gotten a lot better at it. There was a lot going on that day with that plug and stuff. But what I'm trying to say, man, is to each his own. If you don't really know what you're doing, tuning, then stay on the caution side, stay on the ridge side, so you're not making mistakes, but just slowly learn. You have to learn where that fine line is in between too lean and not enough lean. You know, you want your stuff to rip, you want it to bang, man, but you don't want to blow it up either. So anyway, guys, this is it. This is how I do my bump box. I'll probably put a brand new wheel on at some point, but I'm gonna go ahead and keep using this one. This is one of the original ones I had, and you know, learning through my trials and errors. But you know, after learning, I know that this wheel still has a lot of life on it, so put it back on there. And we'll keep this box specific to the Mugen and the Hyper, and we'll use the Racer's Edge True Start box, which is this one right here, guys. It isn't, you know, some people say it's a piece of shit and all that. You need the Losi box and yada yada yada. This box is a badass box. Q World Racer's Edge. Of course, I've beat it up and put it through hell already because, again, guys, one of my first boxes, both of these, learning on them, you know, not knowing how to maintain and all that kind of stuff, learning trial and error, YouTube, that kind of stuff. So it's a badass box. Racer's Edge True Start. It's about 80 bucks, you know, and you could probably get some better name brand boxes around that price. I know the ProTech Sure Start, I think, is somewhere around there, maybe even cheaper. But if you're gonna get a decent box, guys, you need to plan on spending at least $100 for your box, and then you use whatever battery setup you want to use. Personally, I use the, you know what I use this one right here. I use the 50C 5000 milliamp reaction. This thing will start your box all day, every day for a week. It's a badass battery right there. But in worst case scenario, I can switch out, use a different connector, my series connector, and use two of the 2S Fluorions. Now these Fluorions, guys, they're cheap. Two 2S batteries for like 25 bucks, man, shipped to your door. Already with the Dean's connections, I've had no problems with them, no ballooning, none of that, what I say, ballooning, no puffiness. Look at this one, I need to get rid of this. This is a higher cost ProTech LiPo 3S. It's for my head warmer, which I am getting a new one. My buddy Elliot's sending him back to Dynamite, and they're sending me a new one. But this one's all puffed up, man. Look at that shit. You know, this is a name brand, more expensive battery right here. I don't even know why I keep it in here. I got my Reedies. I got my Venom, LiPo, my 2S stuff in there. But these right here, man, two 2S batteries will do the same thing as this. Just have to make a connector. I made this connector, so if I blow it up one day, it's my own fault. But the Fluorion's badass. Two 2S, 25 bucks, shipped to your door, power all day. Now they are only 2200 milliamp on these compared to the 5000 milliamp on the Reaction. This is a $100 battery on eBay or AMain. I picked it up for 50 bucks from my buddy who is leaving. He's in the military. He's going to Southern California. His name's Matthew. You'll probably meet him, Muggy. You know how many people are doing RCs, Southern Cal, hitting that that hobby shop that you go to. Who knows? His name's Matthew. Remember him. He's military. If there's a hobby shop around him, he will be there. Alright guys, I think that's going to be about it. I'm waiting on some more stuff to come in the mail. Waiting on that sweet .28 modified nitro engine. And we're going to go over that too, guys, because it's not just modified, but it has upgraded, you know, racing parts, racing pistons, crank, backplate, all kinds of goodies on that nitro engine. So be prepared. I am. I don't know if I'm prepared to break it in, you know. Never broken in a modified engine. I'm assuming it's the same thing, but it's brand new, guys, so it needs to be broken in still. Alright guys, I'm getting a little tired. Go ahead and clean up, finish working on the Duratrex box. So that's how you replace your wheel, guys. No big deal. Just make sure you put the wheel in the right way. If you have to disconnect your wires, make sure your polarity is connected the correct way. You don't want it, if it's connected backwards, it will spin your flywheel in the opposite direction. And oh, Muggy, so you were talking about wheels going in the wrong direction. I've had that happen too, but the same way that the Nerd had it happen, the engine just fired up in reverse. It had nothing to do with the diffs. The engine actually fired in reverse. I'm not sure. I think it has something to do with the timing on it or the tune or something like that, but it really freaked me out. I was like, what the hell is going on? But anyway, guys, I think that's going to be it. Shout out to the Norm. Shout out to Bones Brew. Still rocking the Bones. Always will. We'll never buy Byron's again as long as they're chingaleing us in the rear on the cost. Won't do it. Muggy, Bodegel, talk to your people, man. Tell them to stop taking advantage of us. Shout out, kudos, Bones Brew. Shout out, Raja, man. Where you at, bro? Haven't seen anything from you in a minute. And that's going to be it, guys. Alright. So looky there, we got a space waiting, but that new engine will be going in the I think it'll be going in the Techno, even though we're still breaking in. I may put that, we haven't done any RPM tanks on the Rex Legend 28.8 number 2. We're gonna put that Savox servo in the 8T, and she's ready to rip, man. But I think I may put this one back to sleep, take the Muggy suggestion, put it back down night, and we'll rock the modded .28 that I'm going to show you guys this weekend in here. And by the way, Muggy, this is my 9901, thanks to Family Affair. But what I am, is it? I think I told you I was rocking the 41031 on my, which one is it? No, I'm rocking the 41031 on my 2096 pipe right here on the Mugen, and I'm rocking the 9901 with the 41001 header on the Techno with the Rex 28.8. Yeah, so I had it wrong, Muggy, when I told you. It's the 9901 and the 41001, but I will be trying out the 41020 and the 41021 also on the 9901. So look forward to that, guys. Alright, man, I'm about done. 9 o'clock. Try and get some rest tonight, a little early. You guys in this YouTube thing for the past 4 months have been keeping me up way too late, man. It's kind of hard to survive on 4 hours of sleep when you're 53 years old. But also, I need to order some more MP. I know it's higher cost to guys, but I recommend Metal Protector from Amsoil. It is good stuff, man. WD-40 will work, but if you can afford it and you can get the MP from Amsoil, people. It's good shit. Alright, look at my Donald Trump peeking around the corner there. Hey, what's going on? That's funny. Anyway, guys, looks kind of lonely up here without the LST.
Hope I didn't make a mistake, man. But it was just sitting there. And I still have one right here. We just need to work on it some. That's all. She's ready to go and good to go. But now I don't have a nitro engine for it. Well, I guess I do. I can always put the pull start or rotor start back on here. But I'm just not interested in doing any pull starts anymore. And just like the Muggy said, I think once I run a modded nitro engine, I'm not going to be interested in non-modded or .21s. But that's not me, man. I think Muggy's wrong on that. I think I'll always like to rock the .21s, especially if they're quality like the OS's, the VZB. Man, the VZB has plenty of power, man. That engine is badass. So is the Adam Drake. But this thing right here, this LRP .32, it doesn't even feel right when you run it, man. I know I tuned the hell out of this after I broke it in. Now you can go back and look at my videos. Ida was dropping right away. She was screaming, had that sweet tune on her. But it's just, I don't know, man. It's just something about it. Even with the Novorossi carburetor, they're just pieces of shit, man. They're just POSs, people. And that's pretty much what I'm going to stick to. Now I haven't done anything with it. I haven't touched it at all, but pull the clutch off and everything, and the pipe and the header. I am going to clean it thoroughly and just leave it on the shelf for a while and see what happens. Alright guys, I'm just not into it, guys. I just don't feel like the LRP is worth a crap. I'm sorry. And that X-Tech carburetor is supposed to be redone. It's crap too, because I ran it when I first got it, and before I had the Novorossi carb. I think I got the carb at the same time, but I hadn't milled it yet, so I was breaking it in with the X-Tech, and I actually ran it with the X-Tech, and it was difficult. I mean, I think I tuned it a little bit, but there's no bueno, man. So if you're gonna have the LRP, make sure you do like Mr. Bodegel showed us. Mill 1 millimeter off the Novorossi carburetor. There's, I think, 3 or 4 different Novorossi carb part numbers that will work on this. This one's actually the 24067. You have a 24066, and I think I don't know, a 65 and a 64, something like that. But this one is the 24067 right here. Alright guys, I think that's going to be it for this evening. I'm having a hard time talking. I'm ready to drink some tea. I drink hot tea at night. I think y'all seen that. Lemon ginger with a little bit of sugar helps put me down. Not put me down, God forbid. Put me to sleep. And anyway guys, remember the oil leak I had on my BMW the other day? It's going into the shop this week or next week, I forget what my wife said. Over $700 to fix a valve cover leak. BMWs are badass, but if you don't have any type of money in your pocket, don't buy one, because it's going to cost you an arm and a leg to repair. I could do it myself, but I just don't have the time, and I don't want to do it. I'll just pay somebody to do it. Alright guys, other than that, we will see you guys. I'm not sure when, man. We're gonna fire up this. I've already done my 4 heat cycles. I want to do my first startup on this. I'll do that on camera. I like to document with you guys the birth of my nitro engines, so look forward to that coming pretty soon. And I think I'm gonna go ahead and put that Rex Legend number 2 back in the box, and let's put it to sleep. I may send it out to get modded. I'm not sure. I don't want to spend the money right now. I'm still recuperating from this dental work. So we'll probably take it out and we'll put the new one in and start breaking it, the modified one. I'm really anxious to rip a modified engine now. I'm extremely excited. Alright guys, that's going to be it. Remember, treat people the way that you would want to be treated. Shout out Muggy, family, Bodegel, Lights Out, Raja, Island, Leon's Hobbies, David, you're badass, 28.8, Gearhead, hadn't seen nothing from you in a while, Man, I could go on and on and on and on, guys. But my mind is mush right now. So we'll see you guys in the next video. Later.